Good evening and welcome to the post-fight press conference here at Bellator 81. For those joining us on the live stream, we welcome you as well. We are still on site right here on the campus of the University of Rhode Island, the site of Bellator 81, where tonight we concluded the semi-final round of the tournament in Bellator's 7th season. We have the fighters behind us. We'll open it up for opening comments in just a moment. For those members of the press, we'll open it up to you for questions following our comments. So let's do that right now. We'll turn things over to the chairman and CEO of Bellator Fighting Championships, Mr. Bjorn Rebney.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, guys. I'd like to come right out. I'd like to thank our partners here at the Ryan Center. This was terrific. This is the first time we've been here. We've kind of set the table and planted the seeds, if you will, for future events we could be here. They asked me after the event, would you come back? I said, absolutely, we would come back. I would like to thank the guys up at this table as well. That was just a spectacular night of fights on both sides of the table. You guys just, I'd like to give you a hand because that was just great MMA action. Harry, typically on a Thursday before we do our weigh-ins, I get ready to give a speech and talk to the fighters. And I tell the fighters at every single one of those weigh-ins, bring the fight. Use this as an incredible opportunity. Use this as an opportunity to plant your flag and to establish your name, to generate a fan base, to attach yourself to MMA fans. And this week we had a series of production issues and I had to be back in the truck and I missed the opportunity to talk to those guys. But I must say something to you, brother. You must have heard me through osmosis or something else because you brought the fight, came in here, brought an incredibly exciting fight, just brought the action, did not come in as an underdog, came in as a guy looking to take the fight and bring the action. It was just a spectacular performance. I got to say, Twitter's been blowing up. People have been coming to me, asking me who you are and what you're about and where we found you. And that's the highest compliment to somebody when they come out and they go, where did you find that guy? So great, great performance tonight. Jonas, and you beat a tremendously talented fighter, a fighter who will have a great future here at Bellator, will be back, is a tremendously talented middleweight in Jonas Bilstein as well. So I got congratulations to both of you guys. Jonas?
Well, first of all my compliments to Perry Fickens. This was an amazing fight and I never expected him to be like that good. I knew about his strength, I knew about him being good in the stand-up, I knew about his chin, but everything I knew about him, he was like 300% of that, and he did a great job. He did a great job of taking me out of my own game plan. All of you, the people who know me know I'm a ground guy and I want to take the fight to the ground, but somehow he got me into his game and I wanted to stand up with him, and that was just his game, and it worked out perfectly for him. So all I have is respect right now. That's it.
I just want to thank Jonas, man. You're a tough guy. Usually I like to go in and finish fights. I have nothing but respect for you. You're a tough competitor, and like I said, like the owner said, you deserve to be here. You deserve more fights here. And, you're a talented guy, and I was just an honor to be able to be on this stage and on this promotion and fight someone like you. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that cheered me on, and I'm glad you guys loved my fight. I love to bring the fight, and I'll be there bringing the fight every fight. Promise.
Marlon, my friend, it's been Marlon's made it to the last two featherweight finals that we've had, has come up on the losing side of both of those finals and got rededicated and refocused and came back here against a guy, Dustin, who's got 27 victories, 27 finishes, and just a spectacular performance. I recruited Marlon Sandro out of Japan, where he was just a phenom and destroying people and putting on highlight reel finishes. And I must say, I cannot wait to see you on the tournament on Spike Network coming up this winter. That's the next place you're going to see this man is on Spike Network in our next 145-pound tournament. So congratulations on a great win.
Thank you, my daddy. Man, you saved my life because I fight in long time in Japan. I don't fight my man in Japan. I come here, I want to bring more emotion for everybody, for knockout, for submission, all the fight for everybody, for more emotion. But I lost. It's no good for me. I lost. I come into my home. My son every time talk to me, Daddy, you lost. Oh, my friend. My son, take it easy. I come in today. My son talk to me, Daddy, bring the victory for me, please. I training every day very hard because I know this show is a good fight here. It's good hard fight. Is hard here because it's the big show. I love this show, but my next fight I don't talk tomorrow. I need to prove it for you, for everybody, for my fans, for my family. I am in good fight for this show. Thank you so much.
Hello. I fought a great fighter tonight, one of the best in the world. He trains at one of the best camps in the world. It's a privilege to be able to, get in there with him. So I'm very excited about that. I'm very happy that Bellator brought me. I wish I could have put on a better performance, and that's all I got.
For Dave Jansen and Ricardo Terloni, my statement to both of you would be, at any time in the future, if either of you ever want to fight on this show again, all you've got to do is call me, because that was just an epic fight. Great performances to bring the fight. I mean, that's just, as MMA fans, from a stand-up perspective, that's what you dream about. That's what you want fights to be. So an incredibly close fight. I mean, y'all saw it. It could have gone either way. Dave gets a great victory. Congratulations on a big victory. And Ricardo Terloni, you will see him on Spike Network in no time, fighting in another tournament, putting on just unbelievably entertaining shows. So, I mean, just a thank you to both of you. That was a great, great fight.
Thank you, boss. And my opinion, I won the fight. I don't know what fight the judges see. I won the second and third round for sure, but it's okay. You leave in the judges' hands, and it can happen. And I'm a pleasure fighting Bellator. I love being a Bellator fighter, and I hope to be back soon. And what can I do? It's my dream come to the finals, become the champion. And sometimes another thing happen and you didn't come, but I will be back always. I will be back always. Thank you.
I say thank you to Ricardo. You're a true Bellator, and it was an honor to fight you. And I'm happy that fight was entertaining for the fans as well. And yeah, I'm just grateful, elated. All my hard work's paying off. Thank you.
I've been watching MMA for a lot of years, and one of the coolest things for me about watching MMA is that there's so many different things that can happen in a fight. And if you watched Dave's fight against Ricardo, you saw an amazing stand-up battle, and then the page turned and we went to the next fight. I got buddies that I'm fortunate enough to roll with who have forgotten more than I ever know, and they always say to me that jiu-jitsu at the highest level is literally like watching men play chess on the ground. And that's what we saw tonight. We saw two guys who are so technically perfect and so entertaining on the ground that they can take a fight that's completely different from the fight that came before it and just have you on your feet and have you excited and have you watching a fight and just loving what you're seeing, and nobody's throwing punches, but it's just magical, and these two guys brought that tonight. I'm a huge fan of the gentleman to my right. Rich has been fighting in this game for an awfully long time, and he's fighting at an amazingly high level, and you will see him back here in very short order. And Marcin Held is just, you're a freak, a phenom. I'm keeping my legs away from you at all times, and you're just an amazingly talented young fighter and a huge future ahead of you. So to both of these guys, I mean, it was a counter to what we saw in the fight before it, and it was just wildly entertaining. So thanks to both you guys.
Yeah, as always, first of all, I just want to thank everybody that just helps me in my support system. And Bellator, I'm a big fan of your guys' promotion. I love the way the tournament's set up. it honestly gives the guy, and I say it every time, the right guy an opportunity to fight for the title, not just because he's somebody's fan or something like that. So whoever wins here when the tournament's done deserves it, and I'm a big fan of that. I love the sport, and I love the way the structure's set. Just about myself, great job finishing that leg lock. I heard it in the first round, tore a lot of stuff in my ankle, and then when he just went back to it, it just really wasn't anything else that seemed to tear. So hopefully I'll be back, and my bad was I deviated from my game plan, and when you're dealing with high level guys, that's what the sport's about. You make a mistake, and if you go away from what what does, sometimes you pay the price, and that's what I did. I thought I had him tired. By then, I thought he gave it his all, but he had one more in him, I guess. So and that's what happened.
Hi. I would like thank you for everybody, for my fans, for Bellator. I'm really glad to fight for Bellator, to fight in the toughest tournament in the world, and I'm really happy I'm in the final of this tournament. I would like to say thank you for Rich. It was a really good fight. It was a really hard fight for me. He's really good opponent, and yeah, so thank you for everybody, and see you in the final.
And Martin Held versus Dave Jansen will be in Hammond, Indiana, at Horseshoe in Hammond, Chicago. It's about 20 minutes outside of Chicago, Illinois, on December 14th.
My name is Old School. I represent NortheastMMA.net. I have one question for Perry Philkins. How's it feel, buddy?
Feels good. There's really no other feeling, man. I've worked my butt off since I was 18, man. I've been tearing through, trying to get better and better, and I worked so hard for this fight. I felt like I was in the best shape of my life, and I feel like if you work towards something, you can achieve it. And there's no better place I'd rather be. Bellator is where I want to be, and I hope I have a future fighting and giving you guys better shows than this one. I have more to show. I have all this to do, and I just appreciate everything. It's just overwhelming, and I just can't wait to keep it going.
Perry, thank you very much. Let's check the room to see if we have a second question. All right, sir.
For Dave Jansen, what is it that you think actually put you over the top for the judges? Because it's pretty clear that it was one round to one round going into the third. So what do you think it was that sealed it up for you in the third round?
I'm gonna have to watch the fight, but I feel like I gave just as good as I got. Even when I got hit, I was connecting as well, and there were times where I made him miss and made him pay. And maybe the leg kicks with the combination of the wrestling, anti-wrestling, clinch stuff. Yeah, I'll have to watch.
Thank you.
Maybe the cardio as well.
It's no secret that you're 0-2 in the tournament finals, and Mr. Rudney just said that you would be in the next season's featherweight tournament. How does that make you feel going into it? How would you prepare differently for this tournament, knowing that you got to the top of the mountain but could not ultimately win?
I will train more jiu-jitsu and in Muay Thai, because in my fight and I use more box, but now I wanna use my Muay Thai in my jiu-jitsu, because in my last fight with Daniel Strauss, him get my back, man. Fuck. But I will train more jiu-jitsu, man. Yeah, I come to Brazil, I train every day, but this today I put my game in my fight.
I get two questions?
Sure.
All right, cool. Jason from BJPen.com. First question for Rich. You've had a long, illustrious career. You seem to have, a resurgence in Bellator with this promotion. I just want to know what your next move is. I know it's tough coming off of a loss, but, what are you kind of thinking right now as far as going forward?
Yeah, this sport's been real generous to me, and I do a lot of other things as well too. I have my own gym as well, and I work a lot with troops whenever I can, and I find a lot of enjoyment in this sport. I'm the type of guy I just like to fight, and I hope that there's fans out there that like to watch me fight. And when there's not, that's when I won't fight anymore. So I'll be back with Bellator. I got to heal up. The tournament, like I said, setting is tough. I had a real tough fight the first one, and it's real tough to turn around and do that again sometimes, So, but I'll come off 100% on the next one and just be ready, and I'll come to fight, and that's just what I do, So hopefully Bjorn will have me back, and I'll get a win this next time.
Thank you. Second question for Mr. Rebney. Could you just give us a little insight into what you think the 2013 Spike TV deal is going to bring for Bellator?
Yeah, how much time do you have? It's
30 seconds.
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, it's just, for me, it's just, as a fan of the game that's been watching for a lot of years, it's exciting for me to say, to actually say the words in sequence, Bellator on Spike, because if you grew up around this game and you watched its kind of maturation from a fringe sport that we all watched, and we bought, I still have VHSs from Pride in my garage. I mean, I don't have a VHS machine, and I can't play it anywhere, but I've got them. If somebody else has them, exactly, bookmarks. But it just, we have huge plans. I mean, we have 25 live events. We have 2 full tournaments and a summer series. Some amazingly talented fighters in those tournaments that are coming up. I mean, I said about this tournament, I said about this season, a lot of people are like, well, you don't have a lot of the big names in this, and you're missing some of the guys. And I was like, the next Michael Chandler's coming out of this. The next Pat Curran's coming out of this. The next Ben Askren is going to come out of this tournament. If you watch these fights, you watch the Trelawney fight and Jansen, you watch these 2 guys go, that's where the next evolution of guys comes from, and it's a short process. And that's what we're going to duplicate on Spike. I mean, you're going to see an evolution in the show. You're going to see different changes to the show, which are going to be exciting and make the television show better and more explosive and more entertaining. You're going to see a reality show that Bertram Van Munster from the Amazing Race fame, who's won 14 Emmy Awards, is going to produce. And I think that show will stay very true to the Bellator philosophy, to what we're about, to the win and move on, lose and go home type of a scenario, where it's more kind of a biopic competition than it is like a situation where a bunch of dudes are in a house and a woman drives up in a limo type of thing. So, I think it's exciting. They got a monster push behind it that you're going to start to see in the next few weeks. It's going to go cross-platform at Viacom, and it's going to go all over networks in the U.S. They've got a huge push behind it. The company believes in it. I obviously believe in it. It's an exciting next transition and growth period for this company. It's every time I think about it and I say it, it's a big grin on my face. So, yeah, it's exciting. It's going to be a lot of fights and a lot of action. Same time, same place, same channel, and be able to tune into Spike, where so many people kind of feel like they're at home with MMA. So it's an exciting time. That's my short answer. Thanks you.
Hi, Christian Stein here with MMAJunkie.com. Bjorn, you mentioned you had technical difficulties, which kept you from giving the usual pep talk. Yet, all these guys, put their safety on the line and fought like true warriors. And many of the decisions, I'm sure you can agree, could have gone the other way. A lot of very closely contested fights. We already heard from Rich, so I'm wondering from Jonas, Dustin, and Ricardo, if you could tell us, do you individually wish to come back next year, and will we see you at Bellator again?
So for me, I absolutely hope so. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a tough opponent like Perry Filkins. I'm looking for the best guys, and this is the place to find them. So if Bellator wants me, I'm gonna be there.
I'm 26 years old. I've got a lot of fights already, and I I think what I need to do is I need to slow down a little bit and just get with a good camp and just figure out, how to tone my skills, and I think that's what over the next year what I want to try to do, just try to get a little bit better and try to fix things. I'm with IFA and I'm also with Alpha Male, and I'm able to train at both those camps, and I plan on spending a lot of time just doing that.
For me, in my plans, I will fight against Rick Hall in December because in my plans, Rick Hall I want to beat Michael Chandler and I get my rematch against Rick Hall. But we'll be in the next winter. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
I have one last question for Mr. Rebney. Bjorn, we see a lot of local and regional cards come and go, and the refereeing isn't always what it should be. In that main event tonight between Marcin and Rich, I think Kevin did a tremendous job letting that fight stay on the ground where it belonged. I know some of the fans were calling for a stand-up. That fight belonged on the ground, and props to Kevin McDonald for keeping it on the ground where it belonged. I know you had a great team of referees here. All three of those referees would have kept that on the ground, but not all referees are that good. Sometimes they stand it up. Do you choose your referees? Is this your team, or did the commission choose these referees? How does that work, Bjorn?
It's a great question. It's a question we never get asked because sometimes when, unfortunately, as fans, you or I see bad decisions, sometimes the promotion gets the blame for those bad decisions. That there was a bad team or they had their own guys. It's like working with the state in any situation. And ultimately, you're beholden to the state. So the independent commissions that operate in each state bring in their own commission. They have their own commission. They bring in their own judges. They bring in their own doctors. They bring in their own referees. And ultimately, we get what they give us. In this situation here in this state, we got a spectacular team, and they brought in great people from not just necessarily this general area, but across this region who are just top tier people. And that's where you get to see, with no disrespect, but boxing centric, who doesn't necessarily understand the magic that these two gentlemen were displaying, and they stand to fight up really quickly. And in other instances, you get guys that don't know the game as well in some states, and you're stuck with that situation. It's incumbent upon people like me and people who run other major mixed martial arts organizations to be actively engaged in that education process. We're only 7 years into real general market crossover of MMA. I mean, that's just the infancy of the sport. So you've got to keep educating these people so that we get more of what we saw tonight and less of what you see in some other instances. The UFC has the same issues. They run into bad referees, but they have no more control over it than we do. It's like going to the DMV. You're stuck with what you're stuck with, and sometimes it's awesome and it works flawlessly and you get in and out, and sometimes it's not as flawless. So,
Mr. Rebney, two quick questions. With the move to Spike, do you see any moving to more international, meaning outside of North America, having cards there? And do you ever have plans on coming back to Boston at all?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we were in Boston when we were really still very new. I think Ed fought there and Pat Curran fought there, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and Roger Huerta, which was eons ago. So I mean, look, I think we set the table nicely here. This was a good first event. It wasn't a packed house. It wasn't an empty house. It was that middle road where if you had about another 1,000 people, it would have really been electrified. Everybody was loud. I've got to assume after fans watching what these guys did tonight that you'd be hard pressed not to come back and see it again and tell your friends about it. So I think this would probably be a place that we would look to. One of the downsides of Boston, which is also an upside, is that there's so many options. Major markets you got so much stuff to do in Boston. Here it's a little bit, you can be the big show in town for something like this. So, this would probably be it. And then from an international perspective, our numbers on Esporte Interativo in Brazil are monster. They're like 3 million viewers per show. When a Marlon fights and a Ricardo fights and some of the other incredibly talented Brazilian fighters we've got fight, the numbers just go off the charts. So that's obviously a place we have our eye on. The UFC has done great business down in Brazil, and we've been kind of planting the flag to try to do some of that great business there as well.
Our numbers on our Russian deal with Russia 2, which is kind of the ESPN of Russia, have been really good. That's another place we're looking at, but we haven't had as long of a period of great ratings there. So you kind of want to set the table and get the ratings up for an extended period. And then when you show up, you want to pack houses. So, but those are two places we're looking at. And then we've got our eyes open. It'll depend on what happens on Spike. We're in 107 countries around the world right now. I mean, this magical show that you guys saw tonight is fed to 107 countries, and we're growing on a weekly basis. So those opportunities are going to get more frequent, larger as we move on.